Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, and I'm a little bit stumped as to what's happened here. As you can see, and for those of you that are keenly observant and recently watched the previous episode, all of my values are back to what they were pre-previous episode. I don't know if I didn't save it properly or I didn't back out properly, but GPemB as a save didn't learn or remember anything that I did in the last episode. But when I click on this and I load a ship, it's here, but not logical. So I don't know what to say. Clearly, my learning of Kerbal Space Program is not sufficient. So we can do the same trick again, which is a bit repetitive and annoying, but apparently I haven't learned any of this. So I can take advantage of that fact, I guess, and avoid making the same mistake again. But I can observe the materials bay and get some science. And yeah, it's all as if it's totally forgotten what happened. I'm really confused as to what's happened. But, you know, we will make do as such. And I will take advantage of the fact I get a do-over. And we'll build a smaller spacecraft, and we'll deliberately go after some science that we can perhaps recover. So I've had to go away and come back to Kerbal Space Program because I'm a bit confused about the whole situation. But that resulted in me not playing it for a couple of days. So I'm a little bit out of the loop as to where I was. So I crashed. Then the game didn't do anything. And so, should we go for escaping and orbiting? How much is that worth, money-wise? So we could, well, we could easily do this for science. I think. So 13,000 to 19,000. 50 to 350. We'll leave that for now. I really want to test some more science. But getting the landing of that science base is going to be interesting. I'm guessing escaping atmosphere is worth 30,000. Just getting to 70. If we're getting to 70, we might as well try and orbit. Let's do that then. So escape the atmosphere and orbit. Okay. So we need to build a pretty impressive rocket. Sorry, let's scrap that. Let's start from scratch. So I need the command pod. The command pod is going to need a parachute, and we're going to want to build a two-stage rocket here. I think I'm pretty sure I can get away with a 909 for the top bit. Is that enough fuel? I'm not particularly going to be particularly good at this because I've not really done it before. So we'll put a little bit of extra fuel into the top part, and get rid of the stack. So I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do it on or with liquid engines. Just monitor the height and the weight. So that should be more than enough to get me into orbit, I hope. that into there. So we're going to want some extra. What have we got? Nothing very much. So we'll put a couple of these on as well. And we'll also take a couple of battery packs with it, shall we? Try and get some transmission. Some science if we get any. So that means we need I don't need 2 of those. Assuming I can't put it on top, that'd be silly. So put it on the side. It shouldn't have much of an effect, should it? So it's 14.9 tons. How much is one of these solid boosters? Interesting. So if we use a solid booster to start us off, definitely make it into order then, won't we? And then we just take away fuel. Do we have 18? It's probably not going to be 18, it's going to be less than 18, isn't it? Come on. There we go. And I forgot that I can take away this, which might mean I'll be able to return the fuel in here back up to max. Apparently I can't. There we go. It's exactly 18 tons now apparently. So we're going to start with that. Then we're going to go to liquid burn. We're going to go with that. So who are we going to crew this? Not our engineer. I'm going to put a Sidori in there. Okay, now I'm going to cough apparently, which is always good in a commentary, because if you're listening to this in headphones, I'd imagine that's not particularly helpful. So let's launch and let's see how badly this goes. So all I'm going to try and do is get up into space and orbit. So start by turning on SAS to keep us straight, and throttle up in preparation. Go. It's all we can do, isn't it? Go, 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 Power Rangers. And when we've got ourselves a little bit of initial acceleration off the old solid booster, swap it for the liquid fuel. See if it explodes and hits the ground. There it was. Okay. So we are making steady progress. There is no benefit currently to doing a crew report or anything. We need to be in orbit and see if that will work. Don't even know if this rocket's going to make it. My speed is not quite what I'd like it to be. Needs to hit full 500 meters per second to be really happy at the moment. The liquid fuel's coming down to about half. We've only reached 10,000 meters. Sidori seems a little bit miffed by what's going on. So So my apoapsis is now starting to increase, which is good. That was an interesting noise that occurred then. So we can start the throttle down a little bit. Is it 70,000 meters? One of the contract was. Reach space is not achieve orbit. Reach space. So it's at 70,000. I'm pretty sure it's 70,000. We need to get to. So again, we can just throttle down a bit more. So into our last fuel tank. We should have probably started to turn a bit earlier, I think. Okay. So now I need to start increasing my not gone too far. Come on, bring it back. Increasing my orbit. Trying to get my orbit or an orbit. Question is, will I be able to do it with this tiny little rocket? Hope so. So we're at 80,000 meters at the moment, or approaching 80,000 meters. Burning fuel hard. Try and burn exactly horizontal. We don't need to increase our altitude any further. Realistically. So we're trying to escape Kerbin's gravitational pull now. Seeing if we can encourage it to let us loop around the planet rather than do anything else. Can you speed up time a little bit? Cannot walk faster than times 1 when ship is under acceleration. Well, that's annoying. Here it comes. It's probably the least efficient way of doing this. The fact that we're on our downward spiral is not good. I need to be accelerating up a little bit, I think. I'm going to get an orbit. I need to stay above 70,000. I'm accelerating down a lot faster than I'd like to be. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to fail. No, there we go. Got it back again. I haven't got a periapsis yet. I've only got an apoapsis. Oh shit. I put my apoapsis up to like way high. So we have our periapsis. We achieved orbit. Badly, very badly. I'll give myself for that, but I need to leave enough fuel to get myself back on the Earth, back down to Kerbal, don't I? But we have achieved orbit. Badly, I will admit, but we have achieved orbit. So we can happily watch as Kerbin flies by. But realistically what I want to do is bring myself back down. Now I'm pretty sure current periapsis is realistically in the right place. So let's fast forward time around the other side. And I want to bring a burn to put me back into a collision course. Although, obviously, I'm going to want to do a crew report from space. I can transmit it. You can't do an EVA because that would probably die. It's not what I meant to click. So we want to be at this point in time. So as we approach our maximum altitude, we want to burn towards or against our velocity so that we can bring the periapsis right down. And that should put us on a collision course with a Kerbin again. And we have to time warp back into staging now because we are going to be slowing down. So can we new crew report or anything like that? Not at all. So let's keep turning around and let's just use some of our remaining fuel just to slow us right down. Definitely bring us down under. And we're on. So we're now just going to be floating down. Hopefully we'll go through the atmosphere and slow down a bit further. Here we go. Nothing to learn from that. Should have taken some goo with me perhaps. Into orbit. Release the parachutes. Speed up time. I don't want to land in the mountains. Landing in the mountains has never proven to be particularly helpful to me. However, it looks like we're going to be quite good and land nice and short. No idea how far off the ground we are, as far as when the 500 meters is, or how far above sea level any of this is. So it's a crew report for floating over something different. There's our parachute. So we're a couple of hundred meters above sea level up here. If we're now at 500 meters from the ground, traveling a wonderfully slow 5 meters per second. And we'll just touch down ever so slightly and ever so gently. And to crew from the surface. Transmit. And we will do a quick EVA. And we'll do an EVA report. We'll keep. Still that experiment. That's a bit of a risk. If you fall off, don't think it'll kill him. Whew. We'll do another EVA report on the surface. Keep. And we will recover the vessel. We're not going to recover the vessel because for some reason it forgets that the spacecraft is part of the spaceman is part. Ooh, he's got 2 XP. Need to go and find my spacecraft and recover it. Yep. So we get all the lovely science. We are going to recover some parts, which is good. Only 60% value, but that's what we wanted, isn't it? That's done as nicely with some 92 science. So 92 could mean I could buy these. So I could buy solar panels. Though solar panels means that I could put a spaceship into orbit and too hot thermometer. Having a spaceship as like a spacecraft in orbit, and see, unmanned flight is also good. I can put a space as like a. Stop risking Kerbals. Try and collect science. Stability. I think I'm going to have a look at contracts, etc., before I spend any of my science, because things like radial decouplers and solar panels, these rechargeable battery packs, they're all going to be extremely useful. I need to determine what I'm going to do next in preparation for obviously the next missions. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the random nature of this episode and obviously the weird start and then obviously the split because I didn't play it for a while. But in the next episode we're going to have a look at what contracts we've got to do now. So there's all sorts of fun things hopefully that have been added, including visiting the Mun for lots and lots of money and lots of science. Orbiting the Mun, recover science from around the Mun, land, transmit from the surface. Oh, that's the next big step then. We might have to do some of these slightly more tedious ones first in order to get my skill set up high enough in order to be able to do some of those. But yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed, and as ever I hope you continue to enjoy, and I'll see you again soon with some more Kerbal Space Program. Bye for now.